Okay, I found the wax I'm looking for. I went through about 9 cans, but this one is just nice and clear. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't want to impart any color. The pine will change with time and get that nice warm honey color as it goes. Now, I had an old piece of foam rubber in here. And I want to make sure that that's not going to leave any color on there, so I'll try a piece of pine. No, it's alright. The reason I do that is the rag that you end up using soaks up so much of the wax, and as you can see I don't have a whole lot left, and I don't know if I can get this stuff anymore. Make sure your hands are good and clean. I'll just put a good heavy coat on. Let it soak in before I buff it. Really work it into that end grain. I can hear them. Let it fill all your gaps. I should mention that. There's a couple of minor ones, but you know what? Sometimes fixing it is going to only highlight it. So a little one like that, I'm not going to worry about. Not happy with it, but like I said, sometimes better left alone. The most disappointing thing was that gap in the shoulder. Fortunately, the shoulders up on the top are tight. This is not much of a finish when it comes to durability, but not a high traffic piece, so it'll survive. A certain amount of wear is acceptable. That's what I want. I may come back in and just chamfer these edges a little bit too, because these are too sharp. Should have done that before I put the wax on, but I was a little late in realizing it, so I'll do it and then come in and put a second coat of wax on. As I said, I mostly want to just give it a little bit of protection while I'm working on it so I don't end up leaving fingerprints. Okay. Now, I could stand to have a little more drying time, but I'm not going to wait. If you go ahead and build this piece, you will gain an appreciation for how difficult it is to work in pine and get the kind of precision you're looking for. It's so soft. Now, get that wax that just went down into that groove. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just knock these corners off a little bit right now, just because it's a little hard on the hands. When you're doing that, you'll be able to tell whether or not you should be going in the other direction. I don't know if you can hear. Yeah, I can see that. It'll just be a little bit smooth when you finally get the right direction. count how many passes on each side, and that's the easiest way to keep it even. Actually going to do 3. Come back in and add a third one here. You just guess at 45, meaning 45 degrees. Okay, a little easier in the hands. Now I should come in and do that one as well. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. I'll come in here and do what I can with the plane. Then I'll take that chisel that I had sharpened last time, I haven't used it since, and just do the best I can to reference off of what I cut to continue it. And I get right here. I don't know if you saw what I did, but I'll try it again on this side. So I'm going down in, picking it up, keeping the blade as close to this end piece as I can. And then come in here, reference, and just take that forward. What I'm going to do is just make a little cut like that. And then the end piece, there's not much room to do anything with the plane, but I can get a little bit of it. And then I'll continue this one. And that little stop that I made with the chisel will keep the shaving from running too far. It actually looked quite even. Okay? So there. Alright, now the lid. I gotta have some kind of a pull. And I'm gonna make this rather simple. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a round bottom plane and I'm going to essentially cut a little shallow cut like this that will act as a place to put your thumb. And I've got to do it while the board is still in the rough because I expect fibers to break out on this side and I'll be able to clean those up. So then first thing I want to do is get this dimensioned exactly. Where is my... So we want 11 and a strong 5/8. And I will purposely leave it just a little bit stronger so that I can bring that to its final length after I've got it in there. So I'm going to go 11 and 11/16. Double check that. Okay, that's 11 5/8, so 11 11/16 will give me what I'm looking for. Now, I'm going to make sure that that's the end I want to use. That's good. Why am I thinking of that? Yeah, this piece was a whole lot longer than I thought. All right, so we'll saw that off. Got to sharpen that blade. I'll try it first, then I expect we'll have to sharpen it. Bench shooting board up. My bench up. can first. I'm going to take the edges off my chisels. Better determine the width too. Or did we already? Three and 15/16. No, we haven't. That's right too. This is still in the rough. So 3 and 15/16. No. I'm getting ahead of myself. We've got to go in and make that cut with the round bottom plane first. All right, now I'm trying to guess what we're going to end up left with as far as a little bit of contrasting heartwood. It really isn't going to matter, but I'm going to put this, make this the end that has the thumb relief on there. So I've got to make a cut across that board. I'll put this in the vise. Rid of my collection of wax cans. Now, I guess the first thing I should do is determine at about where, if I was going to open that lid, where would I want that? Where would I want that to be? I'm thinking, Jake, that's your cue. Right about here. So I'm going to center it right about there. I'm not sure how deep I'm going to make it. I'm going to start making a cut and then see what I like. I'm planing from the good side to the rough side so that any tear out, I know for sure I'm going to get rid of. Now, I need a little brass hammer. This is a plane that I made a long time ago. We were actually for the round bottom chest, and I think I've gone in and modified this because the profile on that is greater than what it was on the chest. I may have used this for the bottom of that chest. I'm just going to tap the wedge and then bring that blade out. I don't think that's ready to cut yet. I want a little more aggressive than that to start. Okay. Now I've got to do this by eye, but maybe it'd be better if I gave myself a good square line to follow. That's going to be the center, and this isn't intended to be terribly precise. I don't want it to be rough either, but I'll just, once I get it started, the plane will follow. That does not look sharp at all, so let's step out of there and see how bad it is. That thing does not want to move. It's because the blade was in backwards. That doesn't help. I didn't even notice. Okay, so to put an edge on this, just like sharpening the scrub plane, only a little more extreme. Just want to get that pitch off of there. Trivy stones up. How low is your time, guys?
2 minutes.
What episode is this?
16.
Guess what?
This isn't giving me this value either.
I don't think so.
I don't think anyone thought.
They've all lost faith in me, is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, so reference off of the primary bevel. By the way, I just did that on the grinder. I'll show you someday. Reference off the primary bevel. Come all the way over here to the corner. Although we're not going to need it all the way over here. And then just, as you're doing these little circles, roll until you get to the other side. Kind of hard on the stone, so you want to keep moving it. No, I want a little heavier burr than that. So I'm going to roll just a little slower. Meaning I'm not going from side to side as quick as I did. Okay, now come over to 16, do the same thing. You'll see the next time we flatten the stones how hard this is on the stones, meaning how much it digs in. I'll flip that over. The fact that the blade was in the way it was would have made as big a difference almost as the sharpening. I'll show you what I mean when I put this back together. I take these to my, here's my excuse, I take these to my classes and let everybody use them. So this is designed to be a bevel down, not a bevel up. And the blade was sitting in there like that, which means you had your 45-degree bedding angle plus the 25-degree angle, or it's actually not 25, it's probably more like 20 degrees, but either way, you were planing at 65, which is way too steep for pine. So it should be in like this, and now our planing angle is back to being 45. Drive that wedge in, and then just tap that blade until we see it project there. Alright, now let's see if that improves it a little. Oh, not enough blade. Now we are cutting across the grain, so it's not going to be as smooth as if we went with the grain. See, the interrode is back here, but that's alright. We've got at least almost an inch to get rid of. Once we, now I'm curious to see if we went the other way. We get a smoother cut, smoother surface. No, I'm not so sure. Right. Ow, don't do that. Got to keep it even, meaning I don't want it to be too deep on one side and not on the other. Just going to turn that blade a little bit. Why do I keep doing that? Sticking my finger down in there, and I'm going to get a cut. Trying to clear those shavings. So the idea is we just have a little thumb recess, but I got to get down there quite a ways in order for that to work. This handle's a little bit loose. Alright, how's our depth? Looks fairly even. I'm having to really bear down on the rear handle or tote. Keep that plane cutting and cutting evenly. Okay. Now it looks a little bit narrower here than it is over here, so I'm going to work a little bit on this side, starting the cut right about here. So let's straighten that out. Maybe one more. Now you can do any number of things to have a finger pull. We could have carved a little something in there, little recess. I don't think I'd want a fixed knob or a piece that was added to it, but I'm not so sure I would do this again. Hopefully we have some lumber left by the time we're done. I'm going to retract that blade. Okay, now I'm just going to go in, try to get a much lighter cut and get a finished cut. Oops, that's out too far. On a very light cut. Do it. We got off a little bit again. We've got less here than we do over here, so we got to come back in here and work on this. What I'm doing is I'm starting the plane here, and I'm just going to wear away on this side to bring it into line with this end. Now, what I plan to do is to have this lid have a reveal all the way around, 1/4-inch lip that goes into the groove, but to have the top of the lid flush with the sides and the back, and that way that recess will just be a nice little place to put your thumb in order to get a hold of it. So I'll see how much material I got to remove off of there. Okay, I've got to take that down to, what is that, 5/8 or half? Should be just shy of 5/8. So I need to make this a little bit deeper still. I should actually be looking and make a mark over on this side. Alright, so if our final dimension is going to be just shy of 5/8, I probably ought to bring that down. Oh, I think I should bring it down to 3/8. It was lower on this side too. So a little more material removed on this side. Could do that with a scrub plane, but I think if we find the scrub plane would be a little coarser. And the scrub plane doesn't have as small a radius, so it would be hard to see. Meaning you wouldn't have as pronounced a radius as we do with this plane. Now you're gonna have to go make one if this is the way you want to do it, but they're not hard. How are we doing on that side? A little wax on this might help. Does. Watch this. Great. So we're about a 1/16 away on that side, and we're a little more than a 1/16 on this one, so I can't plane all the way. I've got to go about 3/4 of the way so that this side will catch up. Okay, now that's not going to be as smooth as this surface will be, but it's going to be what I would call tool smooth. It was done with a plane. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm not going to take it down any further. Okay, how much time?
We're out.
When do we get to do this again? Soon?
Soon.
All right. No more talk about episodes or guessing how long it's going to take. But on our next one, we're going to come in. We've got to rip this to width, and I'm going to rip it, and I'm going to keep it a little bit wide so that I can custom fit it right to that. The down bottom side's already done. So we'll come in, we'll rip it to width, and then we'll plane it down. We'll get it down to the thickness we want, which is going to be just a little over 5/8, whatever that was. And then we'll cut our rabbet. We'll cut our rabbet on the two long sides and the end and get that to fit. So it slides in there perfectly. Put another coat of wax on it and fill it full of candles. Okay, it's getting hot in here. We'll see you soon.